Screw that. Where's I put? I know I had it around here somewhere. Let's see. Gotta be in one of these drawers. Can't do it without the video. I mean, can't do the video without that piece. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to start the video without it. All right, cool. All right, I got it. Hey, I hope you ain't turned that camera on yet. Have you turned that camera on? You better not. Get out of here. Get over somewhere and sit down. Get over there and sit down. Come on, man. Stop playing, man. Shout out to Cow folks. Charlie Liner, homo D-post. I said D-post. I'm sorry, folks. At the beginning, I was looking for something and Hootie's all in the place. But anyway, today we're looking at what we looking at. I don't know what we look at. You need to get over here and stop playing, man. Get over here. Sit right there. I sigh. All right, so look today. I want to talk to my newcomers, new bass players, and I want to talk to bass players that I actually playing already. And the question is, have you really heard your bass without coming through amplification? And you probably be like, hey, man, it sound all right. You know, it's a bass. You know, it's my bass. I like the way it sounds. I like the way it plays. You know, it's my sound. It's me. And you be like, yeah, it's all of that. All right, so look. Have you really ever heard your bass? That's the question. Turn it off because it's getting hot in here. Have you really ever heard your bass? You have never heard your bass. I wouldn't say never, because a lot of people can say, look. All right, so check this out. So I got a fretless Padula here. It's one of the first ones. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that. All right, so I know how this bass sounds. Okay. Okay. Now this bass was now this is one of the basses that came to me that was underwater for over a month, and I took it and brought it back to life. She's absolutely beautiful. So I had a chance to really play her, like talking about it, because once I got through with it, I kind of put it back in the case for the owner to, you know, come and get. So I'm listening at it. Love fretlesses. Look, fretlesses. All right, so it's a lot of things that's good about it. So I can hear basically what the bass sounds like. So I can hear how the bass sounds. The question I gotta ask my bass is, would I love this bass as much as I love hearing it right now coming through that amp? Would I love this bass coming through one of these? Look, you might want to turn it right side up. This, I mean, is what you're looking at is an earpiece. This is a monitor for an earpiece. That's what it is. All right, so you take it, and here's some ears. I got a set of ears here. You know, they look like this, okay? And of course, the earpiece goes in the top of this. And of course, the little light comes on once you plug it in. And this runs right to the board, or it can run from here to the amp, or basically to the board, basically. in and out the board is what it is. This is a Behringer, okay? So they come in different kinds of models and designs and stuff like that. This is what I use at, on my church, and I have one at my church, and this is my personal one that I carry around with me. You haven't heard your bass until you come through one of these or one of these. Older bass players will have issues. I talk to a lot of older bass players, and they hate in your ear stuff. They hate it because it's not the naturalness of your bass. I said naturalness. It's not the naturalness of your bass. Basically it is. Whatever you pumping through your bass or through your head is what you gonna hear through that monitor right there. Are you gonna like your bass when you hear it through there? Some of us won't. That's why some of us crack our ears. He said crack our ears. What does that mean? It means that you crack it. You take half of your earpiece off so you can hear the bottom coming out the bass of the amp. And so you crack your ears. I crack my ears. Yeah, man. Sometimes I do it because, maybe the mix is not well enough for me even coming through this right here. I mean, I can get right and left balance, and some of these you can get high, low, mids. Well, basically, I use my phone. I use my phone to set my mix on this thing right here, and setting my mix gives me kind of a good mix to my ear, but it's nothing still like cracking your ear. So, my question is, and to a lot of you guys, you haven't, well, not my question is, my thing is, you haven't heard your bass until you heard it through one of these, okay? Through one of these. Again, you can hear it and it sounds okay, and then you can hear it go like, I hate it. Some people overdrive their ears. I think earpieces are really amazing. They save your hearing or they can destroy your hearing, one of the two. It is really up to the sound man. If he's not on his job, you can actually lose your hearing. And if you're not careful yourself, you can lose your hearing by spiking your ear, by overdriving your ear with this. Me personally, a lot of people put my ears on and be like, it's what's happening? I don't hear anything. So I just need to hear what it sounds like, just enough to equal it out to the song that I'm about to be playing. My thing is to you guys, to new guys. You new guys, listen. It could be good for you, it could be bad for you. I say it could be good, but for the older players, up in their 70s and 80s and 60s and 50s, this might not be what you want to hear. This is not what you want to hear because you're so used to the accurate punching of the cabinet behind you. This would upset you, and it will actually tee you off. I said tee. Yeah, is there other words for that? I can't say it because they'd be bad words. So it's like to tee you off. All right. So my thing is, you really haven't heard your bass until you come through one of these, though. All right. How your bass really sounds. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I know how my bass sounds. Oh yeah, okay, I get it. You think you know how it sounds until they get it in here, and you like, yeah, it ain't quite what I want to hear. And then there's some people use little platforms. They're like little square platforms. They sit underneath your feet, and as you play, they rumble your feet. And a lot of you guys go like, what? What? Yeah, you have these little little platforms that you stand upon, and when you have your in your ear on, and you actually play and they rumble. Now they have this new thing out. I think I saw Victor with it, Victor Wooten. He has a box that he sits on the back of his belt, his shoulder strap, and it actually vibrates him, like a real amp. That's cool too. But when I was overseas in Europe for about a year, I basically had a little TKO 65 underneath the stage. And that little TKO 65 rumbled underneath the stage. And that gave me my footing because I had no amp on stage. How you like doing that? No amp on stage, just what you got in your ear. And I loved it, but when I came home, I got spoiled again. I went back to the regular amp. I got spoiled again, so I went back. But now, times have changes. I said times have changes. That ain't right. Now times are changing, and that, we're going to the in your ear thing. So, once again, guys, if you're doing in your ear stuff, if you can, I know a lot of you guys play at churches. Now you become in your ear with the headphones and stuff like that. I would say, get your own in your ear thing, take it home, and try to readjust your bass at home to where you really want to hear it, instead of, every what, 2 or 3 days, 4 days, you go to church and you got to, play the mix that you got at church and you don't particularly care for it. But if you do it at home, I'm just saying, if you do it at home, by the time you get to the church, or sometimes you can even carry your own box, and have your phone already set for what you want to hear at home, and then you just transfer it to church or to a gig. I'm just saying, to a gig, to wherever you gotta play, wherever you gotta play. Just transfer your stuff that you got at home, into your gig, and you're more comfortable and you know more about it than when you get on the gig and you got, maybe 20, 30 minutes to try to get your ear right. Some of us 5-10 minutes. I don't know what that's all about. But 5 or 10 minutes to get your ear right. And so I just want to put it out today because I kept thinking about it in my heart, the weekend, because today is Monday, 2021. So I kept thinking about it, of how, people feel once they get to a gig and they know they have to put ears on, and will they really hear that bass for the first time? When I heard my bass for the first time, I really didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It was nothing good about it. I cheated, actually. The first day, I kind of cracked both my ears so I could hear the bass. Was it too loud? Absolutely. For where I was, it was too loud. But as I went on, I began to turn my bass down. That's another thing that cats are not doing. Is like, once you get in your ear, you can turn your bass down. You don't need to feel your bass anymore. You just need to, and just in case something go wrong in your ear, you can crack your ear and hear it enough where you can get through. And that, because nobody in the bandstand needs to hear your bass anymore. They got it right here now. So for all the loud players now, times are changing, and your hearing can be how can I say this? You can hear longer. You got an opportunity to hear longer. You got an opportunity to hear what your grandkids need to say. If they saying stuff, or the baby, when you can't hear stuff, you ain't got to put a hearing aid in just to hear it. You saving your ears now. But once again, guys, I just want to thank you for taking the time out to listen. My opinion about in your ears, and my opinion about learning your bass for the first time, or hearing your bass for the first time. A lot of people will say, I already know how my bass sounds, and that's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. But to hear your bass for the first time in your ear, you may not like it. All right? So you got other ways. I'm just trying to give you some ways to readjust and to really get a chance to hear what your bass really sounds like. Right now. Johnny Long in the Homo Depot. Peace out.